Hey guys, it's Jason with Rising New Moon Studios, and today I had a little tip that I wanted to share with you on how to store your commercial patterns. Now, if you've ever bought a commercial pattern, you know that they come up all folded and nice and pretty and neat like this, with the instructions and the tissues and everything, and they fit perfectly into these tiny little envelopes. But as soon as you finish working with one, they end up more like this, you know, kind of a jumbled mess. All the pieces are cut apart, and they don't go back into these little envelopes so easily. So here's a quick little tip that you can use to help remedy that. And for this project, you're going to need your commercial pattern, obviously, a little knife or some scissors or any kind of cutting utensil or instrument, some spray adhesive or a glue stick or any kind of glue, and one of these big manila envelopes like this. And these come in a couple of different sizes. This is kind of a slightly larger size, and then there's a little one that's a little bit smaller. You can use either. Again, totally up to you. So let me switch camera angles and I will show you what to do. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove all of your pattern pieces out of the envelope. And we'll just set those aside. And then I like to cut along the left edge and across the bottom. You can cut this completely in half if you wanted to and paste one side of each side to the envelope, but I like to do down the left side and down the bottom. And I'll show you why in just a moment. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm just going to start cutting really carefully with my knife. You want to be careful that you're not cutting into, if you're just cutting along the crease. You don't want to cut the front of the envelope. If you do, like I'm doing right now. If you do, it's not that big of a deal, but you just want to kind of be careful and make sure you're just getting into that crease. You can also do this with scissors. I'm using just a little knife just because. Now, by doing that, you'll see that now you can open up your pattern and lay it flat, or your pattern envelope, and lay it flat, just like that. Right, the next thing you're going to do is grab your envelope, and the reason I cut mine down that side is so I can just kind of fold it over onto the edge of the envelope like that. And I do that so like I can always see like the edge of the pattern envelope without having like pull the pattern out of the drawer completely or off the shelf completely. This is kind of like, gives it kind of just like a little spine or whatever. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is take your spray adhesive or your glue stick or whatever kind of adhesive you're going to use. And one thing I want to point out too is I'm using the envelopes with the little reclosable brad, so I can just open and reclose this as much as I need to. And once these things wear out and they break, then you can just easily, you know, cut your pattern envelope off of the old envelope and just glue it to a new one. So that way you always have a fresh envelope, or if the envelope tears or anything like that, you can always do that. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to spray a little adhesive on it. And this is a aerosol, so you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated room. I've got the ceiling fan going and, you know, the window open, so everything's okay. Just going to spray a little bit of glue in there. Probably a little too much, but that's alright. You can also use like a scrapbooking spray mount, which is reworkable, which means like once you set it down, you can actually pick it back up and move it a couple times before it dries. Whereas this isn't really allowing you to do that, so I don't know if I like this glue very much. But I'm just going to press this along and make sure I got a nice even coverage and everything's nice and ready to go. And there it is. There's your new pattern envelope. And the great thing about this is you can also put, if you trace your patterns like I do, here's a pattern that I have that's been traced onto muslin. You know, and now this will fit perfectly into these nice big envelopes like this. Now I got that whole muslin pattern in there, and there's still plenty of room for anything else that needs to go in there. I can put the original pattern back in here. I can leave this just as the muslin. It's totally up to me, and it's totally up to you. And that's it. Like I said, it's a really easy thing to do. One thing that I do is once I have them all done, I put them on a bookshelf, you know, with the pattern envelope facing out, and when I'm going to look for my patterns, I can just kind of flip through them and see what I have. You can also put them in a filing cabinet. A couple other things you can do is you can make copies of your pattern envelope and do a separate envelope for each size you trace out. If you trace out your patterns, you can make an envelope for each specific size. Or if a pattern comes with multiple looks, for example, let's say that a pattern comes with maybe a jacket, or actually let me show you this one. For example, like this pattern here has like a guy's look and a girl's look. What you could do is make a copy of this envelope and make two separate big envelopes and put your ladies' patterns into one and your guys' patterns into another. So if you store your patterns by category, you know, like say women's jackets, men's jackets, you can put all your patterns together. Or that's just something to do to help make your patterns a little more organized, something to help you out, you know, if maybe you're looking for a jacket, or say you're looking for a jacket for a character and you just go right into your jacket patterns and thumb through them to see if you have anything you can work with. And that's it for this tutorial, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you look forward to more, because I look forward to making a lot more, and I hope you'll stay tuned to see those. See you later!